Let's go to Kathy in Toledo. Dear Bishop, what are some of the blessings that lay people can perform in the church? For example, saying the final blessing at the site of a loved one's burial or leading Stations of the Cross during Lent. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so much, Kathy. So the specific ones you asked, let me address those quickly. So a final blessing at the site of a loved one's burial, that's reserved to the deacon or the priest in the ritual of the funeral. So there are the rites, the funeral rites, and that's reserved unless a deacon or a priest is not present, and then they would not give a blessing. They would simply read the words at the end. So you would not, in any way imitate, by gesture or word, what the priest would do in blessing the faithful at the end. So I think that has to be clear. Also, leading Stations of the Cross, it's not a liturgy of the church, it's a devotional. So I think that's important to say. Anyone can lead the Stations of the Cross, but I think we have to be mindful and careful of what is reserved for an ordained minister of the church, that is, for a deacon or a priest. So, for example, outside the sacred liturgy, lay people can give certain blessings in certain ways. For example, a parent can bless a child. An older sibling can bless, quote, a younger sibling. Maybe it's just a hand on the shoulder, God bless you. Maybe it's tracing the sign of cross on their forehead. And in other groups, for example, in healing ministry, that is, for example, in maybe charismatic renewal, etc., maybe they lay hands of healing. Maybe they put their hands on someone's shoulder and ask them to be blessed. But this question came up, Ron, in our discussion before we aired, and I had this question just a few weeks ago about, quote, the blessing of people who don't receive communion, but they're in the communion line. So it's inappropriate for a layperson to give a blessing in that liturgical context. It's just as easy to say, may God bless you, right? But they wouldn't make the sign of the cross over those people. That's reserved for a deacon or priest. And even there, a deacon or priest shouldn't be doing it. They can simply say, may God bless you. May the Lord bless you, for example. So I think it's pretty clear what is reserved. And of course, there are situations where even in the ritual of the sick, for a visit to the sick, when an extraordinary minister of the Eucharist is bringing Holy Communion to someone, they don't offer a blessing. There's actually a separate wording that's given if a layperson is bringing Holy Communion to the sick. So I hope that's helpful.